Previously, we discussed the training in a time chamber, as well as the Cell games. Cell was defeated by Gohan, saving his timeline. Check out the previous parts on the card above to catch up. Gohan notifies the rest of the tournament and how he's joining in that tournament because of his classmate, wanting to know of their opinion, maybe even getting a prize for winning. Since Vegeta is there at Capsule Corp with them at the time, he starts yapping how it's still a maybe as he's also joining just to fight. So Gohan is kind of scared because of Vegeta. Goku also says he wants to join to fight Vegeta, getting the Gohan's plans washed down the drain. He comes back to Videl and says his family is also joining, giving them zero chance to fight together. But Videl has another plan, and that is terrorizing Gohan into joining by threats to expose him. She also wants to know how to fly and demands from Gohan to teach her flying too. So that's just another burden on Gohan's back to deal with. Following the wait for the tournament, Videl learns how to fly. This time, it's just her and no Goten because Goku was already there and trained his second son to fly and use proper ki control. Gohan and Videl train beginner ki control and flying, but soon turn to actual fighting and training, firing blasts, flying, and just overall just sparring together. Videl has learned quite a lot in the past month, considering she has been doing martial arts all her life along with father, Mr. Satan. She got a good grasp of it pretty fast. Goku, Vegeta, and Bardock train, while Chi-Chi and Gine are back home, talking their brains out and just being housewives. Other Saiyans also join in on Earth, but do not want to participate in that tournament. Speaking of the Saiyan race, a vast majority of Saiyans have learned to go Super Saiyan. Some even went to grade 2 and 3 stages, and few even went Super Saiyan 2 with enough training, with Vegeta being one of them this time around instead of just regular Super Saiyan in the Buu saga. They are actually the most powerful race of warriors in the universe, making the Galactic King really proud. They participate in conquering, but not for selling planets, but to retrieve them from villains that need to be imprisoned. For each successful job, they earn an upgrade to their planet, new gear, new armor, and other gadgets that can help them in combat. They use it very carefully though, as to not always request new stuff every single time they deal with something or someone, generally doing good in the universe instead of harm under the rule of Frieza. The Tenkaichi Budokai is just right around the corner, and so all of our usual Saiyans go. At the tournament, the usual process goes, meeting with the Kais, the youth division, and eventually Gohan displaying his latent ability for it to be taken away by Yamu and Popovich. The searching and discovery, all that happens until Babidi's eventual possession of Vegeta. Vegeta in this case doesn't need more power, but since his heart still has some impurities, he was still struggling to take control. He went at it for a few minutes, justifying and focusing on the good he has done. Supreme Kai helped him with it, as well as Goku and the rest, and Vegeta started forming the Majin mark on his forehead, but he didn't want to let it happen. He used the Saiyan pride to deflect the possession. Everything that drove him towards good deflected him from becoming his past self, and the mark started disappearing off of his forehead. He managed to resist Babidi's spells and, still panting, decides to go and get to the bottom of the situation, although still worn out of his mind. Babidi was pissed, trying to get someone else to be the victim of his, but the rest were all pure-hearted and could not be controlled into submission. That didn't really sit well with Babidi, so he needed a new plan. So he decided to sacrifice the Bora so he could release Majin Buu to the world and finally take over. The Bora was against it and protested, but Babidi didn't give a damn. When the Bora tried spitting on him and turning him into stone, Babidi deflected the Bora's spit back to him, and having no time to dodge, he was impacted by his own attack. Babidi then froze him in place so he cannot fully turn into stone, using his ki to channel it towards Majin Buu Cocoon. That managed to release Majin Buu, and now everyone on the ship has noticed the huge amount of ki that has spawned out of nowhere. That managed to worry the entire gang, so they rushed outside of the ship, destroying their way through the ship to the outside world. Majin Buu and Babidi soon unveiled themselves as well, with Buu holding the now stoned Bora in one arm and just throwing him down on the ground, breaking the Bura into a million pieces, as the cobbled remains slowly started turning into dust and returning Piccolo and everyone else that was stoned back to normal. Supreme Kai is mortified at the fact that Majin Buu is still alive, and even more so at the fact that Babidi sacrificed his most powerful minion to do so too. Goku and Vegeta decide to fight Majin Buu, so they play rock, paper, scissors to choose who gets to take a crack at a new enemy. It turns out to be Vegeta, and he gets into a stance. Shin tells Vegeta that no matter how much he can try and destroy him, Buu will always regenerate. Vegeta takes that into account, going back into the days of Cell, and powering up to Super Saiyan 2, goes to attack Buu. Buu is a playful foe, so he tanks the hits, and with Babidi mocking Vegeta on the sidelines. Vegeta gets annoyed and kills Babidi off, which surprises everybody. Majin Buu, however, thanks Vegeta on destroying Babidi, as all he did was basically barking orders. Vegeta was confused at first, but then started yapping his damn self so that the two can fight normally. Buu is fine with that and shows Vegeta why he is the superior one, smacking the hell out of Vegeta. That forces Goku to get into the fight, going Super Saiyan 2 himself and entering the fight. He tells Buu he will give him a fight he desires if he stays patient. Buu agrees, and with that, Goku begins the power-up. Vegeta watches from the ground, completely speechless as to what he's witnessing, and Shin is right beside him, just as surprised, as Goku turns into Super Saiyan 3 for the first time in front of everybody. Shin is genuinely amazed to see that the Saiyans harbor such intense power. Vegeta smiles, hiding something himself. Goku then begins round 2 with Majin Buu. They fight all over the place and seemingly being on par with one another. Vegeta is partially recovered by Shin, who tells him to use the energy wisely. Vegeta just brushes him off and continues to watch the battle. All went fine until Buu started a bit too rough, actually putting all his power into his attacks and dealing damage to Goku, who is slowly getting more fatigued from using Super Saiyan 3 at his peak power. Goku is trying his hardest to keep up, but fails to do so, and his body forces him back in Super Saiyan 2. He's trying to catch some air at first, but Buu starts taunting him how the fight isn't fun anymore, and decides he will turn Goku into chocolate. This is when Vegeta gets right in front of Goku and starts powering up as well, which gets the candy beam to change course, and Buu stops to watch. Vegeta also becomes a Super Saiyan 3 and protects his Saiyan comrade, telling him he's not the only one with long hair anymore. Goku says his was supposed to be a surprise for their fight at the tournament, with Vegeta telling him likewise. Vegeta then implies to Goku that it's best if they leave the area altogether this instant. Goku is looking at him confused, but Vegeta turns around with a smile, much like Goku himself did in canon when he went to sacrifice himself against Cell. Goku thinks for a moment and realizes the gravity of the implication, telling him right away that he will die. Vegeta is fine with that, saying he doesn't care that much at all and that he realized that protecting his family and bringing peace to the universe means more than just meaningless squabble, and that this is his final gift to the universe. Goku understands and gets everyone to rush off to site while Vegeta prepares his final atonement. He tells Buu he's been nothing but a burden to the deities of this universe and that he should be expunged. He does his final atonement, and in this case completely destroys Buu at the cost of his own life, with himself turning into stone and falling down, cracking into loose cobble. Goku pays respects to his fallen comrade, who sacrificed himself for this planet and its peace, lamenting back to when he wasn't like this at all and only cared for his own ideals. Back at the tournament grounds, Goku had to relay the info to Bulma and Trunks, who started crying and denying the loss they were just told, wanting to revive him right away. Bulma gives Goku the Dragon Radar to seek for the Dragon Balls, completely ignoring the tournament, which leaves Gohan as the winner of the tournament, who came to watch and eventually compete in the final round, which he easily won. Stay tuned for the next part, where we will discuss the Battle of Gods and the revival of Vegeta. Thank you for watching, and with that, peace out.